All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're gonna train about training. This presentation is on how to train more effectively because the beginning of the new year, everyone is rushing to the gym, everyone wants to be in shape, but some of you are missing the right tools. And it doesn't matter how much time you spend working out, how many days per week you try to go to the gym. If you don't know what to do, it's gonna just be a waste of time, waste of energy, and chances are very high that you're gonna keep repeating the same cycles as the last year. Meaning you train, you're not consistent, you stop, and you restart every year. But no more of that, because today you're gonna finally have what you're missing. And before starting, I just want to remind you why training is important for fat loss. Somehow when people think about losing fat, they focus on diets, and don't get me wrong, diet is very important, but the gym has its place, at least building muscle, because the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is going to be. And the faster your metabolism, the faster you're gonna lose fat. So if you wanna lose fat faster, build some muscle, and that's gonna help you achieve the outcome that you want. And by the way, when I say building muscle, I don't mean just to get big and become a bodybuilder. This is not the goal here. And I feel like this is a misconception that a lot of people have. Like, oh, if I train too much, I'm gonna become big. And this is false. When I'm referring to building muscle here, I'm referring to building lean tissue, right? Which is what is will speed up your metabolism and help you lose fat faster. Okay? And at the same time, for me, it's more than just losing fat and building muscle. Like the gym helps you build some discipline, also your confidence, by showing up every day, by having that change, by having that physical change. That builds confidence, and also it's great for mental grit and emotional control. Every time I feel pissed off or angry, all I have to do is just go and smash a workout, and I'm good. I'm resetting my emotions. So keep that in mind. And before covering the tools on how to train more effectively, it's important to address some misconception that a lot of people have about training. And this is why some of you don't get started or cannot stay consistent, because everyone has this mindset: the more workouts or the more days I train, the better it will be, the faster I will have the result that I want. And that is false. You don't need more time, you don't need more workout, you don't need more exercises. All right, all you need is the right tools. And this is exactly what we're going to present in this video. So if you're someone, you feel you've been held back by time over the last years, over the last month, or you cannot start because somehow you cannot fit 5 days or 6 days of training in your calendar, I'm gonna stop you right there and prove to you that this is not what you need. You certainly don't need to go to the gym every single day. You certainly don't need to spend 2-3 hours working out and doing tons of cardio, because all you need is 3 sessions per week, 1 hour max. So that's 3 hours of working out per week. Like, everyone has that. It's more than enough. And for every workout, you want to have 4 to 6 exercises maximum, by focusing on compound movement, and maybe the last one is going to be some isolation. Example of compound movement will be squats, bench press, pull-ups. Think about an exercise that's going to engage more muscle group at the same time. And isolation, something like a biceps curl. So the 80% at least of your workout plan should be focusing on compound movement, and maybe 1-2 exercises at the end of your session for isolation. And that's all you need. That's gonna perfectly fit 1 hour. And for each workout, for each exercise, just focus on 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps. So let's address those fundamentals first of all, because that will be the key to build muscle. And I'm gonna show you on the next slide, like, what are the tools that you need. And another mistake I see people doing is changing the plan too often, thinking that the plan is the problem. The plan is not the problem. Like, to be honest with you, I've been having the same workout plan for the last 6, 12 months, almost like 2 years, I would say. I barely change my workout plan because it's not about the plan itself. It's about like how you work out. And this is by far more important. As I said, the plan has to be composed of 3 workouts only, focusing on compound movement, some isolation, 1 hour max, and that's all you need. But what's gonna make the difference for you this year is just having the right tools. The reason I have this picture here is you have a tasty piece of meat, and of course, if you wanna cut the meat, like you need a knife, you need a proper knife, like this one. Like imagine how much energy and time you're gonna be wasting if you try to cut the meat with a spoon. And this is exactly what most people do every time with the gym, every year. They show up with the wrong tool, they don't know what to do, so they waste time and they waste energy. And just like that, they don't have what they're looking for and they give up because they're frustrated. And I get it. If you put a lot of time and energy into something and you're not satisfied with the result, you're gonna be frustrated and give up and eventually restart every time. So to avoid that scenario from happening again, I'm going to provide you the right tools. Imagine you wanna have a nice steak and you have a big piece of meat. Now I'm giving you the knife. Forget the spoon anymore. You're gonna have a knife and it's gonna make the job way easier and also faster and get you the piece of steak that you want. So stop wasting time and get result faster. As I said, it's all about having the right tools. Imagine you come in the gym and all you need is a playbook with some rules and guidelines that you have to follow. Simple as it is. As I say, first of all, 3 workouts per week. For each workout, you want to have 4 to 6 exercises, and for each exercises, 3 sets, and for each set, 6 to 12 reps. Most likely, we're gonna be between 8 to 12 reps for most exercises. Some of them will be 12 to 15, and I will just have like one exercise where I focus on 6 to 8 reps. I'm not gonna go too much in depth with number of reps and set here, because this PowerPoint, this presentation is all about like providing you the right tools. So what do you need to make your workout more efficient? It's just following those simple rules. Like you have 1, 2, 3, like 5 of them. And I'm gonna cover each one by one. The first one I wanna focus on, it's not the right order, but the first one I want to focus on is tempo. Tempo is very important. I put it together like tempo and full ROM, which stands for full range of motion. And I have this example here of basic exercise. This is a biceps curl, right? Everyone want to have like juicy arm, and everyone think about biceps curl. So I had it as an example here. What I mean by full range of motion, first of all, is you want to fully contract the muscle and fully extend the muscle. And I feel like a lot of people do, as I call them, half rep. So they just stop halfway. To make sure that you build muscle effectively, you need to fully engage your muscle. And that means fully contracting the muscle and fully extending the muscle. That is for full range of motion. And by tempo, I just mean the pace at which you will execute the movement. So let's take a biceps curl, for example, right? What I mean by tempo is, again, you always want to break down the movement into phases. So if we take the bicep curl as an example, like this phase of the movement, the first picture is the phase where you're extending the muscle. So this is the second phase of the movement, because you have the biceps curl, imagine it, you contract and then you release. So when you contract, this is the concentrating phase of the movement, or positive phase of the movement. And that part, you want to maybe spend 2 seconds. Once you there, you want to hold for like 2 seconds. And the part of the movement where I want you to bring more attention now is when you're releasing the muscle. It's basically if you have to fight gravity. So if we take the same exercise again, the bicep curl, that's going to be this phase where you have the first image, where you release, where you extend the muscle. And that one, you want to be as slow as possible. I always recommend 3 to 4 seconds. And just by applying those two principles, the tempo and the full range of motion, you're going to feel a difference on how your muscles are engaged. So keep that in mind. Tempo and full range of motion. Focus mostly on slow down the part of the movement where you have to extend the muscle, and also make sure that you fully extend it and you fully contract it. The next tool is going to be form. Form over weight. Meaning you have to stop ego lifting. Don't try, lifting heavy is important, and I'm going to come back to that like in a moment. Lifting heavy is important, but if the weight that you're selecting is compromising your form, you just have to leave your ego on the side and drop slightly the weight. Form is by far more important than weight. If you're not executing the movement properly, you're just not gonna build muscle effectively. Put it this way. Okay? So choose a weight that's going to challenge you, and I'm gonna explain it in a bit. Choose a weight that's going to challenge you, but at the same time, without compromising your form. Because the moment your form is compromised, it's like you're basically wasting time and energy. So form over weight. And the next one is to train to failure. And I feel this one, a lot of people are missing that. They just do the workout for the sake of doing a workout. Either they have improper form, the weight is too heavy, and they're not trained to failure. So what I mean by failure is physically possible, it's impossible, physically speaking, it's impossible for you to do more reps as you should be doing. So if I tell you, you need to do 10 reps for a specific exercise, whatever exercise, let's take a bench press, for example. If I'm like, you need to do 10 reps, okay, and at the same time, you need to hit failure during this set, that means that the rep number 9 and 10 has to be very, very challenging. If you can do more than 10 reps easily, and you just stop at 10, that just tells me you haven't hit failure. So failure means that it's going to be impossible for you to do 11 or 12 reps. You always want to keep like 1 rep max in reserve, but that's the point of failure. You need to hit mechanical failure. That means, again, it's going to be almost impossible for your muscle to do more rep than what you are supposed to do. So if I say 10 reps, hit failure at 10 reps. How do you know if you hit failure? If the last rep is extremely challenging and you cannot do more. That's when you know you hit failure. And of course, you might need a period of calibration. That's most likely going to happen during the first week. We need to calibrate yourself, calibrate your weight, and see, okay, what weight do I need to select to bring myself into failure? So use the first week to test yourself, to calibrate yourself. But keep in mind that training to failure is important. And you have to hit failure during every single set. Not the first one, not the last one only. If you have 3 sets, the first one, the second one, and the third one. Hitting failure for every exercise during every single set. And the last element, and that is what will help you achieve the physique that you want over time, is progressive overload. So what I mean by progressive overload is you have to keep adding more intensity to your workout week after week. And you're gonna either do that by increasing the number of repetitions for each exercise or the weight that you're pushing. Because Because your muscle are smart, they adapt. So what brought you to failure at week number 1 is not the same way that's going to bring you to failure at week number 20. If we do a bench press, for example, and you can only do 100 pounds at 10 reps during your first week, that's just a basic example. You will need to add more weight or more reps over time so you can reach failure again because your muscle adapt. Think about it like, as alcohol. I don't like this example, but the first one that come in mind. The first time you were drinking alcohol, you got drunk maybe by just 1 shot. But the more experience you get, the more shots you need just to start feeling tipsy. So your muscles are the same. It's like tolerance. It's gonna take more weight or more intensity over time for your muscle to be engaged the same way as the first time. And that's what progressive overload is key. Because again, if you want to build muscle, you need to constantly bring it to failure. And if your muscle adapts, all you have to do is just to increase the weight and the intensity over time. And the best way to do it is by tracking your workouts. Track your reps. Just go on Notes. Like I use a private app with my clients where they have their workout plan and they're tracking every single set. And this is how we know if they're making progress and if they're applying progressive overload over time. You need to track your reps. That is non-negotiable. Also need to track your diet and every habits that you do. But if you don't track your reps, you will hit a plateau. I can guarantee you, I've seen it many, many times. The reason people are stuck in the gym, yes, assuming they have the right plan, but the reason they stop seeing progress is because they just don't track their sets properly. So track your set, use Note. And again, if you want to have something customized for you, apply to work one-on-one with me. There's going to be the link in the bio, and I'm going to do it for you. Like it's all done. The diet, the workouts, the habits, and I'm going to make sure that you keep making progress, not hitting a plateau, and give you all the tools that you need. And what I'm presenting you now is exactly what I teach the guys in the community. But again, if you want something personalized for you, just reach out to me. But this is basically the tools that you need, guys. If you want to stop wasting time in the gym and get the result that you want, you need to train to failure. You need to prioritize your form over the weight. You need to slow down your movements and also fully engage your muscle, full range of motion, fully contract, fully extend, and progressive overload, meaning adding more weight or more reps over time. That's all you need. And the only way you're going to do it properly is by tracking your reps. If you don't track your reps, you're going to be stuck. You're going to hit a wall. And I know I'm just covering the tools about how to train more efficiently, but at some point, it can happen that you hit a plateau, you cannot lift more, and this is where we need to include different techniques, which I'm not covering in this video. And keep in mind that the training, the gym, is just a tool. If you want to achieve your dream physique and get the result that you want, there are other factors to consider, other habits to take in place. First one being diet, your sleep, your hydration, how you move, how you manage stress. All of that need to be taken into consideration. But again, in this video, I'm just covering the training part, how to train more efficiently. And if you need more help with your fitness this year, just again, you can apply to work one-on-one with me. The link is going to be in the bio. In the meantime, I just want to say thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you soon.